Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about the procedure followed by IAS officers to resign from their job. We are discussing about this because recently an Indian Administrative Service officer who resigned in 2019 has been reinstated to his job by the government. The name of the officer was Shah Fazil, who resigned in 2019 on account of unabated killings in Kashmir. He has been taken back into his service and position in 2022. Shah Fazl's resignation was not accepted by the government as there was a pending investigation of his social media post. So the fact that his resignation was not still accepted is the major reason for him to return to be reinstated to his post. And as per the rules of July 2011, an officer can withdraw his resignation if the resignation was tendered for compelling reasons which did not involve any reflection on his integrity, efficiency, or conduct. So this is the reason that why Shah Fazal is reinstated to his position. He has been reinstated to his job by the government because at the first instance his resignation was not accepted, it was still pending, and it did not involve any reflection on his integrity, efficiency, or conduct. And these rules about which I am talking are the All India Services Death cum Retirement Benefits Amendment Rules 2011. So these are the rules which governs the procedure, the process involved for the purpose of retirement, resignation, or re-hire. When we talk about resignation, what do we understand? So basically, a resignation is a formal intimation in writing by an officer of his or her, by an officer of his or her intention or a proposal to leave his job. So this is what is resignation. And the resignation of an officer of any of these all India services, which includes the Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, and the Indian Forest Service, is governed by Rules 5 subclause 1 and 5 subclause 1A of the All India Services Rules 1950. When we are talking about these rules, when we are talking about the resignation, there is one more scope to it. Resignation is one thing, and there is one more thing, that is VRS. VRS means Voluntary Retirement Scheme. So officers who take VRS are entitled to pension, whereas those who resign don't get any pension. Rule 5 of the Death cum Retirement Benefit says that no retirement benefit may be granted to a person who has resigned from the service. So voluntary retirement service are different from resignation. In case of VRS, the officer enjoys the pension, officer enjoys the retirement benefit, but that is not the case with the resignation. Now, where should the officer give his resignation letter? To whom the IAS officer should submit a resignation. So an officer serving in a cadre must submit a resignation to the Chief Secretary of the state. An officer who is on central deputation must submit a resignation to the Secretary of the concerned Ministry of Department. And the ministry or department will then forward this resignation to the concerned state. So the procedure, what is the next step once the officer has submitted his or her resignation? Now, once it has been submitted, now what will happen? The state will check the information on the issues of dues and vigilance status and sends that information to the central government. Then later on, the state will forward the resignation to the central government along with the recommendation. And once the recommendation of the state is received, the competent authorities will consider the resignation. Now, who are these competent authorities we are talking about? So, these competent authorities are the Ministry of State at the Department of Personnel and Training in respect to the IAS. Then the other competent authorities are Minister of Home Affairs in respect of the IPS, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in respect of the Indian Forest Service. So these are the different competent authorities for the purpose of IAS, IPS, and ISS. In case of IAS, it is the Ministry of State at the DOPT. Then for IPS, it is the Ministry of Home Affairs. And in case of Forest Services, it is the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change. Now, what is the role of the Prime Minister in this whole thing? So, as the Prime Minister is in charge of the Department of Personnel and Training, he himself takes the decision currently in respect of the IAS and decides that whether IAS should be given, that particular IAS who wants resignation should be permitted with the resignation or not. Now, have you ever thought that once you have given your resignation, whether your resignation will be accepted or rejected? Generally, a resignation is accepted because a circular issued by the Department of Personnel and Training in 1988 says that it is not in the interest of the government to retain an officer who is unwilling to serve. So generally, the resignation will be accepted except in certain circumstances. And what are those certain circumstances? So the circumstances under which the resignation will be rejected are, firstly, that if any dues are outstanding against the officer, then his resignation will be rejected. Or if in any case like corruption, disciplinary cases are pending against that officer, and it is regarding the disciplinary cases, the concurrence of the Central Vigilance Commission is obtained. So if there are disciplinary cases, then they will have to take the opinion of the CVC, that is Central Vigilance Commission. And in cases if the officer is engaged in important work and if alternatives are not available, the resignation may not be accepted straight away. Resignation will be accepted only when the alternative arrangements are made. So it depends whether there is any lack on the side of the officer who wants to get the resignation, or if he is working in such a department on such a case that his alternative is not possible, so his resignation will be rejected. The government will also check if an officer had executed any bond to serve the government for a specified number of years on account of having received specialized training, a fellowship, or a scholarship for studies. So in such cases, it will be seen if the officer has signed any bond in respect to that, then he will have to serve till that time period or will have to give some amount in respect to that bond. Whatever will be written in that bond, he will have to abide by. Now, up till now, we have discussed that when the resignation will be given, how it will be given, to whom it will be given, whether it will be accepted or rejected, on what grounds it can be rejected. Now, if suppose after giving the resignation, if the officer himself wants to withdraw his or her resignation, is that possible? So, according to Rule 5(1)(a), 5(1)(a) of the amended Death cum Retirement Benefits Rules, the central government can permit an officer to withdraw resignation in the public interest. And under what circumstances is the withdrawal of an officer's resignation accepted? So it will be accepted if an officer has to send an intimation in writing regarding the withdrawal of his resignation before the resignation is accepted. So this is what happened in Shah Faisal's case since his resignation was not accepted. So that's the reason he got reinstated to his job. So this was all about the procedure that includes when a IAS officer wants to resign from his job. I hope this video was helpful to all of you. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And in case you have any query in regard to legal exams or law matters, you can reach out to me on my Instagram ID or on my email ID. Link for the same is provided in the description below. Thank you very much.